What's up, you degenerates, and welcome to another episode of Anime That Makes Me Question My Life Choices. Today we're diving face first into the dumpster fire that is Gleipnir, a show that answers the question, what if we combined furry conventions with psychological horror and threw in enough fan service to make high school DxD blush? Congratulations, Pine Jam Studios. You've somehow managed to create a series where the least weird thing is that our protagonist turns into a mascot costume, with a zipper down his back, and it's all downhill from there. Let's talk about Shuichi Kagaya, our protagonist whose entire personality could be summarized as, I have depression, and turn into a fursuit. Which would be fine if the show didn't spend half its runtime trying to convince us that his transformations are deeply meaningful metaphors instead of what they actually are. An excuse to have Claire climb inside him, like he's a twisted version of a Russian nesting doll. Speaking of Claire, she's what you'd get if you took every yandere character ever written, stripped away any subtlety, and gave them daddy issues, and a concerning fascination with climbing inside mascot suits. The show tries so hard to be deep with its themes about identity and sexuality that it somehow circles back around to being unintentionally hilarious. Congratulations! You've made a psychological thriller where the most memorable scene involves a high school girl literally zipping herself into a fursuit boy to fight other people who've also turned into discount Pokemon rejects. The animation is actually gorgeous, which somehow makes everything worse, because now we have beautifully animated sequences of body horror that look like they were storyboarded by someone who spent too much time on DeviantArt's forbidden pages. Every fight scene is a masterclass in how many different ways can we make the audience uncomfortable while still technically keeping our TV May rating. The show's attempts at mystery with its coins and wishes plot would be more engaging if it wasn't constantly interrupted by what feels like a pittish artist's portfolio come to life. The supporting cast is a parade of trauma cases who all cope with their issues by turning into increasingly ridiculous monster forms. Because apparently in this universe, therapy isn't an option, but becoming a flesh mecha is totally fine. The sound design deserves special mention for making every transformation sequence sound like someone threw a bag of wet meat down a flight of stairs, complete with squelching noises that'll haunt your nightmares. Director Kazuhiro Yoneda clearly saw Evangelion and thought, this is great, but what if we added more zippers and made everything exponentially hornier? The worst part is that underneath all the questionable creative decisions and fan service that borders on parody, there's actually a decent psychological thriller trying to claw its way out. It's just buried under layers of what feels like someone's very specific fetish checklist turned into an anime. The show's pacing is like watching someone try to sprint through a pool of molasses while carrying a stack of psychology textbooks and occasionally stopping to pose for fanservice shots. Is Gleipnir the worst anime ever made? No, but it's definitely the most committed to making its audience question their life choices while simultaneously being unable to look away. It's like a train wreck directed by David Cronenberg, written by a horny psychology major, and animated by people who are way too talented to be spending their time rendering detailed zipper mechanics. If you've ever wanted to watch a show that makes you want to clear your browser history despite watching it on legal streaming platforms, boy do I have the anime for you. And the best part? The manga gets even weirder. So congratulations, Gleipnir. You've somehow managed to create something that's simultaneously too bizarre to recommend to normal people, and too tame for the degenerates who would actually enjoy it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go delete my watch history, and possibly undergo hypnosis to forget certain scenes.